Alright everyone, welcome back to the channel for a quick update on Bitcoin and the rest of the market. So at this moment in time, Bitcoin has been coming down to the downside for the past day or so, and we are at a very crucial level after running into the exact resistance that we talked about in the past few videos, that being the top of the daily EMA ribbons, the 50 TMA moving average, and the resistance on the downtrending line of resistance from the all-time high. Now, in the past couple of days, we did manage to move to the upside and start to try and hold some daily closes right on this trend line. But instead of seeing a bounce, we are starting to slip beneath it exactly as of the time of recording. So over on this chart, this is not completely ideal. However, there is one final line in the sand over on the 4-hour time frame, which we are holding as support at this moment in time. On the 4-hour, you can see the EMA ribbons are green. We are sitting at a very crucial level of support right now, and you can also see tidying things up on the 1-hour. We're still in an uptrend. We are tightening up after a bullish move to the upside, and we could potentially be creating a bull flag. However, I'm not the biggest fan of the idea of coming back down to the downside of the bull flag before breaking up, and here's why. If we look at the bull flag over on the 4-hour time frame, you can see exactly this. If we come down to the bottom of the bull flag, we will be slipping beneath this zone right here, and it means that if and when we do bounce back up to the upside, this is probably going to flip as resistance, or at the very least it's going to be very hard to get back above, and that could potentially mean lower price targets for the next week or so before we do have that rebounding bounce. So for today, for the next few hours or so, definitely keep your eyes on round about 86,700, give or take $100 or so. You really do not want to see a break beneath this level to the downside. This is a super crucial level that Bitcoin is trading at right now, not on just this chart, but all the charts that we've been looking at. We ran into that resistance, and like we said at the start of the week, I do think this week is going to be a bit boring. We said that we're probably going to run into this resistance and consolidate before breaking higher, and that is still absolutely the case in my opinion. I'm very 50-50 on whether we hold this level right now. So I'm personally not trading this. You want to see some confirmation come through, and it's the same with the rest of the markets. If we come over to the SP500, you can see yesterday we ran into this area, which was previously resistance flip support, and we hit this yesterday and it got turned into resistance, at least for the first touch point. We've come down to a very crucial area of support, and to be honest, the next level to the downside isn't super significant. So again, for the S&P 500 as well, if you're looking at the lower time frames and you want to see bullish continuation, we really need to hold these levels that we're at right now. For Bitcoin specifically, if we do start breaking down to around about 86.5, 86.4, in my opinion, the most likely course of action is probably for Bitcoin to come back down to this price target we talked about earlier on in the week. This is, in my opinion, probably like the worst case scenario, 84,400. At that point, if we do come down to this level, I'm doing more, not daily uploads on the channel, but I'm updating you more frequently. So if we do come down to this level, there will be a daily update at the time, because I potentially think that is where a beautiful long could take place from. But from right now, I'm sitting on my hands and I'm seeing how we respond to this level. If we fall to the downside, potentially short if you're at your computer, if that's what you want to do, I'd personally be waiting out until we come down to 84,400, fill the CME gap, and then at that point I'd be longing, because I think all the other charts that we're looking at from that point, even the S&P 500 would probably be hitting major areas of support and telling us that we're probably going to go higher. So that's all for right now. Really keep your eyes on this level, super important. If we fall to the downside of it, again, it's probably likely that we fill the CME gap before going higher, but in the much higher time frame perspective of things, the macro is looking incredibly bullish, and I do think that low has been placed in at 76,500. So my worst case scenario, fill the CME gap and send it higher, but until then, I'd be sitting on my hands. Definitely don't get trapped with this move, because we have found support on the exact area that we are sitting at right now, and I would not rule out a sharp bounce to the upside. Remember, with this bull flag breakout as well, if we do manage to push to the upside of this could potentially go as high as 93,500, and to the downside, CME gap 84,500. Either way, super critical level. You want to keep your eyes on this one. Macro still looking really good, and if we do come down to that CME gap, just to put things in macro perspective, this orange horizontal ray is the CME gap. On the weekly, it would look probably something like this, in my opinion. So the macro market structure is very much looking super nice. It's only in the micro for today and for the next couple of days, while we're kind of in this bullish continuation, that we want to hold this level. Otherwise, you know, SP 500 Bitcoin could slip through these critical levels and head down lower for the next week or so. So just wanted to make you aware of these levels. Keep your eyes on them, trade accordingly. Personally, I'm sitting on my hands right now. I'm seeing what is Bitcoin going to do at this level. If it has a nice bounce, absolutely beautiful. If it comes down to the CME gap, like we mentioned, at that point, I'd be probably coming out with a video letting you know that I am going to be longing. So for today, that's all I've got. If you want intermittent updates between these videos, be sure to come and follow me over on Twitter at 618_cowboy. Come and join the Discord. Link to that is always in the description down below, and you can find all of the links on the channel over here. Let's see what we do at this level. I'm pretty neutral right now, but I've got my eyes laser focused on 86,700 and what we do at this level at this moment in time. So all for today. See you in the next one. I'm out. Peace.